April 1st, 2020. For Hillary. The rising light of early morning falls on kitchen table, tucked-in chairs, and finds at last the open floor's dark-paneled wood. There, 15 months old now, John Cassian stands, smiling and naked save his new-changed diaper. He takes 3 gambling steps before the fridge, then lowers down in fear of his own powers. This walking is all new to him. I think that he is of you, and you're here with me, though also upstairs catching one last hour of sleep within the heavy curtain dark. That is one gift for you, that final hour, to start our 14th anniversary. My brother's called to say he's got the virus, electric cables jolting through his blood, and fever sweat anoints him with its crown. He lies in bed and thinks of the Pacific, 2 miles away, as if it were the start of boundless freedom and of paradise. When we hang up, I scan the morning paper and find each headline bellows out its number, the count of dying dead or newly ill, of unemployed who wait for promised checks, or homeless in Las Vegas left to squat in painted hopscotch squares upon a tarmac until the shelter can reopen. What of this will we discuss at morning coffee? What will we do behind our bolted doors to mark the depth to which this day transformed us? The children watched Duck Soup the other night, the 100th time or so we've put it on. What starts in pageant and diplomacy soon veers with Harpo's motorbike to chaos, descends by an incessant squeak of horns, and through a trial as fake as those in Lear, lands sprawling finally on a battlefield. And there, within a humble, bombed-out shack, Groucho's long wayward quest for Margaret Dumont reaches some kind of end, in such a place where fate not only brings 2 loves together, but guarantees that Groucho can't escape. How grateful he must be for tanks and shells to keep them both holed up. Even though his mouth may rat-tat like a wild Tommy gun, undoing pleas of love with sudden wisecracks, there is no getting out of her great arms. Am I, like him, a sharp-tongued unromantic? Or do you see behind the fake mustache and lit cigar, eyes roll with adoration? The hour doesn't lend itself to slapstick. One friend with his black sense of humor notes that if the virus doesn't get us, well, the Yellowstone volcano probably will, or more tornadoes charging up from Jonesboro, and failing that, an asteroid is due to brush by Earth the final days of April. He doesn't plan to stick around to see it. Under the circumstance, it's no surprise the news reports a case of tragic love. A husband and his wife, afraid to die, hide in their home and watch the president on television mumbling on like Chico about the promises of chloroquine. They find some on the shelf or something like it, and though it's labeled poison, don't ingest, they mix it with their Pepsi. In an hour the husband's dead, the wife in hospital. The darkness would snuff out our morning light. A friend in Colorado also writes me, explaining his long silence with a story. A month ago, his wife ran off the road and could remember nothing of it after. Her back now broken, staring at the lights above her bed, she listens as the doctors inform her husband that her neck and brain are riddled with small cancerous growths. And now, the hospital sealed off with quarantine, her husband drives her there each week, then waits. She disappears within. An hour goes by. The doctors fight her death in short, quick bursts, and then she's pushed back out and they drive home, her body drifting with the car through daylight. What does her husband feel again beside her? One more punctilious duty in a life they've shared and go on sharing as they may? The rhythm of their marriage troubled, yes, but carrying on one treatment at a time. Or is it something more? This friend of mine, who's always had a streak of Groucho in him, to meet the darkness with a snappy word, does he now feel the oceanic weight of love? The kind that lifts you up and pulls you out and drags you deep into the tide and says, from now on, think of nothing else, but that you cannot bear to lose this one you love. Feel your ambitions drop away, your defects and your failings too, and give the little that is left to try to save her. and hope for nothing but that she will live. I stand here in the kitchen, where I started, shaken by what comes calling from afar, the halting, stumbling steps of doubtful futures, and think there is no gift that's adequate to greet you at your waking on this day.